ERi-TV English news broadcast. It's now exactly 10:30 p.m. Asmara time, and we're ready for our domestic and international report for November 24th, 2025. Reporting live from our headquarters in Asmara and inviting you to stay with us is Heaven Johans, your news anchor for this session. Let's begin with the major headlines. Eritrea shines at Africa's Cycling Championship. Meeting for enhancing community role in development programs. In our international, U.S. Treasury Secretary said EU sanctions against Russia have failed. And Canada and India agree to restart trade talks. In today's domestic report, the Eritrean national cycling team, which participated in the Africa Cycling Championship 2025, held in Kenya from 20 to 23 November, clinched a total of 10 medals in both genders, including 3 gold, 5 silver and 2 bronze. At the final road race conducted on November 23rd, Olympian Merhawi Kudus in the elite group, Awad Aman in the under-23 category, and Nathan Medhania in the junior category shined in their respective categories by winning gold medals. Likewise, Nahom Ephraim won a silver medal in the junior category, while Moael Girmay secured a silver medal in the under-23 category. In the women's category, Adiam Tesfu won a silver medal in the junior time trial. Mona Lisa Araya won a bronze medal in the under-23 category. Susanna Fissahaye secured a bronze medal in the under-23 category. And Bruchte Fissahaye won a silver medal in the road race. A massive congratulations to the Eritrean team for their spectacular performance. Moving on, Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Houri, Governor of the Gash-Barka region, held a meeting with area administrators, managing directors, reconciliation committees, and heads of line ministries in the Mogolo sub-zone, focusing on enhancing community participation in the implementation of development programs. Reminding area administrators to play a leading role in organizing and coordinating communities in the implementation of the set-out development programs, Ambassador Mahmoud also called for the proper utilization of social service institutions. According to reports presented by the heads of educational and health services, the subzone had 13 educational facilities, 24 kindergartens, 1 health center and 2 health stations. They also called for integrated efforts by the public and stakeholders to control the prevalence of communicable diseases. Regarding agricultural activities, heads of the agriculture offices reported that during this year's rainfall season, 7,911 hectares of land were cultivated with various cereals and oil crops. Ambassador Mahmoud further called for reinforced efforts to enhance productivity and improve the socio-economic status of the society through sustainable water and soil conservation activities, as well as timely preparation of land for cultivation, among others. The participants conducted extensive discussions on the reports presented and adopted various recommendations, including organizing training for area administrators and conducting sustainable awareness-raising programs with a view to developing public understanding on the proper use of social service institutions. In another news, a seminar aimed at enhancing understanding of non-communicable diseases was conducted for the public and students in Foro subzone. Nurse Abdullah Humed, head of the Rafaela Health Center, indicated that the prevalence of non-communicable diseases, including diabetes, high blood pressure and hepatitis, is growing from time to time and called on participants to adopt preventive measures. Nurse Abdullah also urged the public to refrain from taking medicines, especially antibiotics, without prescriptions from healthcare professionals. Do stay tuned, dear viewers, for we shall be back with the international news after the short break. Welcome back. Now, the global arena. EU sanctions against Russia over the Ukraine conflict are ineffective. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told NBC News on Sunday, criticizing the bloc for pursuing the same strategy 19 times in a row, and claimed EU officials were essentially funding the war on themselves. According to Secretary Scott Bessent, the U.S. has combined its peace initiatives with pressure on Moscow. He also criticized the EU for its reluctance to follow the U.S. tariff strategy on China and India and buying their products made of Russian oil. President Donald Trump had been pressuring European NATO members to hit Beijing with sweeping trade tariffs, citing its continued purchases of energy via Siberia. The current U.S. administration is engaged in what he called a trade war against China. It is to be recalled that last month, Belgium introduced its 19th package of sanctions against Russia, targeting banks, crypto exchanges, and Indian and Chinese businesses, as well as Moscow's diplomats. Russia had repeatedly called Western attempts to put pressure on it in a bid to support Ukraine's war effort futile and self-destructive. The strategy also caused rifts within the bloc itself, with dissenting nations, including Hungary and Slovakia, urging Brussels to reconsider its approach and engage in diplomacy instead. Earlier this week, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance also criticized the EU approach towards the Ukraine conflict by calling Brussels' expectations unrealistic. In mid-November, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio admitted that America was running out of things to sanction in Russia after Washington blacklisted oil giants Lukoil and Rosneft in a move he said was made at the request of Kyiv and its backers. In today's final report, Canada and India have agreed to restart stalled talks for a new trade deal, the Indian government said on Sunday, after discussions between the two countries paused following a diplomatic spat 2 years ago. Prime Minister Mark Carney met with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a bilateral discussion on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. The leaders agreed to begin negotiations on a high-ambition Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement (CEPA), aimed at doubling bilateral trade to USD 50 billion by 2030. The statement from India's Prime Minister's office said. Both sides reaffirmed their long-standing civic nuclear cooperation and noted the ongoing discussions on expanding collaboration, including through long-term uranium supply arrangements, it added. The restart of talks highlights thawing relations between the two countries as Prime Minister Carney pushes to expand trade ties beyond the U.S., its biggest trading partner. Carney has vowed to double Canada's non-U.S. exports over the next decade. Canada paused negotiations for a broad trade pact in 2023 after relations soared when Ottawa accused the Indian government of involvement in the killing of a Canadian separatists. New Delhi has denied involvement. This wraps up our domestic and international report for this session, dear viewers. Before we finalize, I present you the major headlines once more. Eritrea shines at Africa Cycling Championship. Meeting for enhancing community role in development programs. U.S. Treasury Secretary said EU sanctions against Russia have failed. And Canada and India agree to restart trade talks. This was The World on Monday with ERi-TV English News Broadcast. Viewers, from all of us here, thank you for joining.